is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 26th day of August in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The little-known Turkine Polling and Research Institute has conducted a poll on the political situation in Guyana and issues surrounding the upcoming elections. The institute is managed by a Guyanese who lives in the U.S., but the poll was conducted and facilitated by a Trinidadian national. The Trinidad and Tobago political analyst who conducted the poll, Dr. Kirk Megu, said the opinion poll found some worrying signs for both the incumbent APNU-AFC and the opposition PPP.
Now, racial divisions are apparent in the rating of the government's performance and support for the political parties or the presidential aspirants. But in the greater Georgetown area, for example, they gave unanticipated results. Our surveyors who worked in the Georgetown area found a very high level of frustration. They expressed extreme disenchantment with both parties, and many appear totally fed up.
The pollster said for the opposition PPP, many are still concerned about the party's choice for a presidential candidate and are rejecting the candidate Irfan Ali.
A significant number of people are critical of the choice of Mr. Irfan Ali as its presidential candidate. Swing voters in particular appear to reject him unanimously. And what is notable is that Mr. Ali is rebuffed even by most PPP supporters, who appear to prefer the former Attorney General Anil Nandalal, and to a lesser extent Dr. Frank Anthony in some areas. Mr. Ali's support is low even in his own hometown on the west coast and the surrounding areas, while Nandalal corners almost all the support in quarantine and is split with Dr. Anthony elsewhere. From what we see so far, on a national basis, Mr. Ali is only ahead of Dr. Vindhya Prasad as the PPP presidential candidate. Now, this shows national disaffection with the opposition as well.
According to Dr. Maigu, the country is still facing that racial divide that makes its way into the election booth. He said that is an issue that should be addressed by the political parties.
That the racial and political divide leads to the undermining of democratic institutions is not a new phenomenon, but it has reached a serious stage at this point. In my view, the people of Guyana would do well to try to deal with this sharp racial divide head-on in order to keep its democratic structures functioning. This is dangerous territory, setting precedents not only in Guyana, but for the Caribbean as well, and perhaps for the Commonwealth.
The final findings of the opinion poll are expected to be released within the next 2 weeks. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hello, baby. Yeah.
Knocked away from Yang Huang.
Yo, why you gotta get away from shit credit, buddy? I went to me that time for blah blah. You actually gain, but it's not you that buy back the credit when it's done. Buy back because she money for five. Fab 5?
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Wait. So who we putting as we Fab 5? Yours.
Securing the best healthcare facility for you and your family is important. At Balwant Singh Hospital, we take pride in giving you the best healthcare at unbeatable prices. We offer a 24-hour emergency care, a well-equipped ambulance, the best group of international doctors. Whatever your medical needs are, we are here to make sure you're taken care of like family. From eye care to dental service, the best, most experienced gynecologist, pediatric care, skin care, well-trained radiologist, and a trauma center. Our goal is to get you healthy so you can live a healthier life. Balwant Singh Hospital, caring for you and your family by offering healthcare at unbeatable prices. Live, love, and enjoy life. Call 226-4279 or visit us at 314 East Street, Georgetown. Balwant Singh, best healthcare at unbeatable prices.
The Guyana Elections Commission has commenced the conduct of house-to-house registration in your area. Be on the lookout for the registration officials with authorized identification. You must have relevant original documents to get registered: a birth certificate, valid passport, certificate of naturalization or registration, adoption certificate, marriage certificate, deed poll. Registration is a legal requirement. Make it your responsibility to register. If you were previously registered, you must register again. Look out for GCOM. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Visit the website at www.gcom.org.gy or contact the nearest GCOM registration office.
Welcome back. With his latest effort to be granted a stay in the fraud charges being thrown out by appeal court judge Justice Don Gregory, presidential candidate for the opposition PPP Irfan Ali is now turning to the full court of appeal. Ali gave notice of the appeal this morning as he appeared before the chief magistrate for the continuation of the fraud case against him. He is facing 19 fraud charges related to the sale of state lands when he served as housing minister under the last PPP Civic government. Ali has always denied the charges. He did not offer any comment to the media as he left the courthouse in the company of supporter Peter Ramsarup and his attorneys. The decision by the High Court judge, then later an appeal court judge, to not grant a stay of the charges forced the case to be returned to the magistrate's court for hearing. The matter is being prosecuted by the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force, which carried out several months of investigations into the sale of state lands to former government officials at prices far below the market value. Veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis is warning politicians against attacking the new chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission as the commission continues with its discussions on the way forward for elections. In a letter to the press today, Mr. Lewis said the GCOM chair, Justice Claudette Singh, has been discharging the work of the commission and she must be allowed to lead that commission free of bullyism or outside interference. He reminded that her selection and appointment were arrived at through a consensus process, which is consistent with the ruling by the Caribbean Court of Justice. Lewis's statement came one day after former Speaker of the National Assembly Ralph Ramkaran accused the CCJ of failing Guyana by not naming a date for elections, and the former Attorney General Anil Nandlal accused the new GCOM chair of facilitating political shenaniganisms. The last GCOM meeting on Friday failed to arrive at a decision on the way forward, and the commissioners are expected to meet again tomorrow on the issue. Let's tell you now that the Ministry of Public Health today hosted a workshop and information session on substance abuse and adolescence. The workshop brought together representatives from law enforcement agencies, education officials, child protection agency officials, and officials from a number of non-governmental agencies. Project Director of the Drug Demand Reduction Service in the Ministry of Public Health, Sylvia Court, said the workshop came at a good time when there is a need for more focus on adolescents.
As our future young people, we need to pay special attention to them. And so therefore this workshop is very important, building the capacity of those persons who come into contact, who work directly with adolescents who may be vulnerable or at risk for substance misuse and addiction. And so what we are attempting to do here over the next 5 days is to give agencies, persons working in those agencies who come into contact with young people, to give them the requisite skills so that they can be able to more or less nurture them, to work along with them, and to help them to make the right kinds of decisions.
The facilitator of the workshop, psychologist Ren Gonzalez, explained that the workshop will be examining some of the issues that have forced young people into substance abuse.
This is actually a training in order for those people who are working with adolescents to be able to understand the dynamics that surround substance abuse, especially young people, and what are the issues that are confronting them that make them at risk in taking drugs within the context of Guyana and at the same time within the regional context.
The workshop will wrap up at the end of this week. Regional airline Liat announced that it is taking precautions against Tropical Storm Dorian, which is threatening a number of Caribbean countries, including Barbados. The airline in a statement announced that it has been forced to cancel a number of flights across the region in wake of the storm. Flights from Guyana to Barbados and from Barbados to Guyana have been affected. Liat operates 2 daily flights between the two countries. The airline said affected passengers have up until Wednesday to rebook their flights. All change fees and fare differences will be waived. Affected passengers are also being asked to contact the Liat office or call the Liat call center for more information. On the police blotter, a 28-year-old mother of 3 was brutally stabbed to death early yesterday morning while she was asleep in her own home. The dead woman has been identified as Shemaine Frank. Her ex-husband is wanted for the murder. He has not been seen since early yesterday morning following the incident. The incident took place in the East Coast village of Victoria, where the woman lived. The ex-husband reportedly gained access to the home by removing a number of window panes in one of the rooms. The woman's brother said the man was seen earlier in the night in the yard, and he told him to leave the area. At around 3 o'clock yesterday morning, the brother said he heard the screams of his sister, and when he rushed to her aid, blood was everywhere as she clutched to her body in pain. The ex-husband had already made his escape. One of the couple's children witnessed the stabbing incident. The young mother was taken to the hospital where she died from the multiple stab wound injuries. An investigation is ongoing tonight. In the courts right now, 19-year-old Imran Prasad will spend the next 18 months behind bars after pleading guilty to robbing his former employer 2 days after he was fired from the job. Prasad, who was unrepresented, made his first court appearance today before the chief magistrate and chose not to waste the court's time. He admitted to the charge that on the 1st of June, he robbed his former boss, Cameron Sheik, of items and cash amounting to over $520,000. The court was told that 2 days after the youth was fired, he returned to the Cummings Street furniture store and lashed his former boss to the head and proceeded to rob the store. He was arrested by the police after a complaint was filed. The youth was carted off to jail today to begin his 18-month sentence. Across the region is coming up next.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Summer is just around the corner, and this year we're giving you a Visacation. It's easy. Get your GBTI Visa card and travel to your dream summer destinations or shop all you want online. With Visacation, you get to win prizes when you use your GBTI Visa card between June 1st and August 31st. Don't have a Visa card? Visit your nearest GBTI branch or go to www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and win! Let's fuel it up and win!
Yes! You heard right. Fuel up at Guy Oil $5,000 or more and enter to win. Tune in to Jumpstart on 94.1 FM Monday and Friday to receive your call to win big. Check Facebook for participating locations and more details.
Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy. Fuel it up and win!
Across the region right now, Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago have signed a memorandum of understanding on energy cooperation that host Prime Minister Mia Mottley said represents a giant step to secure the future of Barbados.
Given also our determination and our recognition that it makes no sense to recreate when our family has already been in this business for more than a century, and it is family with whom we have cooperated from the day we opened the Barbados National Oil Company. And given ultimately the interests of BHP Billiton, who, by the way, happens to be the recipient of blocks to the north of the median line in Barbados' waters, but is also the recipient of blocks to the south of the median line in Trinidad and Tobago waters, that it is the most natural fit for us to take this step.
Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley told the signing ceremony that the MOU is the first of 3 steps that the two countries would be taking as they deepen their cooperation in developing the energy sector in their respective countries. Prime Minister Motley said the cooperation also underscores the importance of the CARICOM single market and economy that allows for the free movement of goods, services, skills, and labor across the 15-member regional integration grouping, of which both Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago are members. Over in Jamaica, the St. Mary police made a massive ganja seizure on Friday evening after raiding premises in the area. The lawmen recovered 289 plastic bags loaded with packages of compressed marijuana, weighing over 7,000 pounds, which they say appeared ready for export. The police in Jamaica have put the street value of the find at approximately 36 million Jamaican dollars. No one was arrested during the operation. And finally tonight, international news. International leaders at the G7 summit have agreed to provide logistical and financial support to help fight the fires in the Amazon rainforest. French President Emmanuel Macron said G7 countries would release $22 million. However, President Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil said Mr. Macron's plan of an alliance to save the Amazon treated Brazil as if the country was a colony. A record number of fires is burning in Brazil, mostly in the Amazon, according to the country's space research agency. The funding pledge was announced as the leaders of the G7, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK, and the US continue to meet in France. Mr. Macron said the funds will be made available immediately. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.